Hello and welcome to this special broadcast on the eve of Advantage Assam 2.0, the Investment and Infrastructure Summit 2025, the biggest ever global investors conclave that not just Assam but the Northeast is going to witness. I have with me the Chief Secretary of Assam, Dr. Ravi Kota, one of the key players behind this mega exercise that the Assam government has initiated under the dynamic leadership of Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. Dr. Ravi Kota, welcome to this discussion.
Thank you.
Now, we are all talking about Advantage Assam 2.0. We have seen the Chief Minister himself going to countries like Singapore, South Korea, Japan, Bhutan. The several other ministers have toured. So it's an extremely serious business that Assam has embarked upon. Do you think this is going to be a game changer as far as the transformative growth story of Assam is concerned?
Yes, it's an emphatic yes. The reply is this is a golden moment in terms of where the next generation would like to see Assam. Now we are at a stage where other states are looking forward to Assam, and Assam can play a greater role for the development of entire northeastern region. To that extent, we can say that even complete eastern part of the country, and that for that purpose, therefore creating wealth for the people of Assam, for themselves and also for the rest of the country. So we have reached that kind of a stage, and that kind of a activity, whatever is going to happen next for 2 decades or 3 decades, that catalyst kind of a moment,
the foundation is
going to be laid, and that kind of a game changer, and it's in fact it's a watershed in terms of economic growth of the state.
Right. Now you see, when we talk about Assam, all these years, ever since independence, we used to talk about only tea and oil. But today, if I see your 8 focus areas where apart from tourism, we have seen defense and aerospace and defense manufacturing, aerospace, semiconductors, information technology. And I found a very interesting thing which, although we are rich, we have never ever talked about it, the flavors and fragrance industry. This is also one of the key focus areas. So I find it quite interesting. We have diversified into many things which we could not even imagine.
Yes, at the 3 reasons I mentioned, I was mentioning in my earlier reply, that these 3 are very relevant to these points. Why we are so ambitious and aspirational in our kind of an outlook.
Yeah.
That's not just it's a government's ambitions and aspiration. This is an ambition and aspiration of young generation of the state, who have been already moving around the world and around the country and contributing in various sectors. Now, if you see the technical part only from ITI to IIT, the number of people both in the private and public sector, around 22,000 to 25,000 boys and girls are coming out of STEM education. And now they are contributing to the economy. Now, their aspirations and their forward thinking is not just limited to oil, tea, the traditional sectors. Second thing is that these are the sectors over a period of time have got into a certain kind of a mold for 200 years, 150 years. So, taking time to get out of that
mold
and get into that kind of a modern outlook, they need to get into the transition. So, if we focus only on this, then we get stuck up with these 2 sectors, our energy and everything, and missing a lot of upcoming opportunities.
Right. You have said a very interesting point. Have I got you right? Just correct me if I am wrong. You were saying that what Assam government is doing with this investment summit, basically you are trying to act as a catalyst to fulfill some of the hopes and aspirations of the young generation in Assam. You are only acting as a catalyst. That's because you are saying that our young people have traveled the world, they have seen it, they have contributed themselves, and they want something like that in Assam, and the Assam government is helping to fulfill their dreams. Will it be a correct assessment?
Exactly. Now, that one coming with 2 other reasons why we have been able to do this much, and in terms of planning, thinking and getting such a huge project like Tata OSAT, the semiconductor OSAT plant of 27,000 crore for, to this part of the country. Number one is that the central government under the leadership Honorable Prime Minister, they put enormous kind of a thrust. It's not a lip service kind of a thing. We can see within the government as an officer day and day how much focus is there and how to get the things done. So that has given enormous kind of a strength to the political leadership here under the guidance of Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Sarma and his entire cabinet team.
Yeah.
So they have the courage to think big. Earlier it was not there. So that is something which really gets the kind of a strikes the chord with the new generation's aspirations and ambitions. So they can understand, they can think about them, and whatever is being done by the government, what I could see through this Advantage Assam or many other programs, not for today or yesterday. Just to, yesterday means when I say that no, something gone wrong and trying to repair that, going back into the history, rather than that looking forward and how we can come out of that kind of a closed kind of a system and opening up both mentally and physically, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the policies, while giving a due attention to some of our local issues, core issues like whether we need to, because we have the tribal areas, forests, biosphere reserves, because everything has its own strength. So while giving due importance to them, and say for example the fragrance and flavors, so these kind of things ultimately they are going to help the our local, the remotest parts of the country and those kind of a communities who have never been able to get connected
we had the resources, but we didn't have the market linkages.
Yes.
Neither did we have the technology to manufacture in a large scale.
Yes.
So now to even plan this kind of a conclave, really Chief Minister himself going, sending his ministers on a massive global outreach program to attract people to come for this summit. Now, when did this idea come to you? How long was it when you conceptualized this idea and when really thought that yes, we can do it? When was that? How long ago was that?
See, I came back to the state from Washington DC after finishing my Government of India assignment in September 2023. So when I met Honorable Chief Minister, at the time itself he said that we need to do it, but we are trying to put something, our house in order, in the sense that because of our insurgency and a lot of other groups, various kind of efforts were made for memorandum of settlements signing, and more about 10,000 various kind of people involved in this insurgency activities came over ground, and we tried to rehabilitate them. So that process was at the fag end, with last being in the month of February, the MOS signed with a major outfit here.
Yes.
So, and the kind of that process between September and February, I could see the vision of Honorable Chief Minister and the rest of the society, because I was away for 5 years on deputation. 5 years is this kind of a fast evolving kind of a times. It's quite a longer time. I could see the whole society and the people who are coming over ground and the political leadership and the central government at the level of Honorable Union Home Minister. I could see there is no even an iota of incoherence in these efforts. They're all going in such a
working in sync, everyone.
Complete sync, and everyone is looking forward. No one is going back and cribbing about something. So whatever happened. Now we have to take care of the state and improve its image and create an environment and ecosystem so that everyone will get their due to contribute to the economy and growth, employment. So that kind of a thing we could see. So then afterwards, our Honorable Chief Minister said that let us plan it. Then we had in between elections in some other states, etc., and also some by-elections. So they went on for some time. So there a mental thought process is there, but formally we announced, about 4 months ago only. Otherwise, sometimes this is something we have to plan for a year or so. So, despite of that, the mental and there is another thing, 2018 we organized One Advantage Assam 1.0. So, there is a bit of a groundwork was done earlier, so that we know broadly what are the pitfalls, learnings, and also now every year now Vibrant Gujarat and there are so many other summits
Prime Minister
are happening.
was in Rajasthan recently.
Rajasthan. Now so many states are organizing it. So we have enormous kind of a that kind of organizing the summit, how
Right.
to organize, who are the people, and every time we have studied all these recently held at least 6-7 summits, and we try to get very frank feedback from the other stakeholders, even a person who is coming and collecting a badge, what kind of a problem he is facing.
Yeah.
Our chief minister has that kind of a minute information,
Yes.
and keep giving us the inputs. Please take care of this. This thing should not happen. So like that, that's the minutest thing. Some even a policy level. There are 1,000 other decisions every day we are taking, planning. What kind of a policies we have to develop? Which is the best policy across all the states? How we can with that kind of a policy, make it more attractive to the investors. Who are the targeted kind of a groups? Which are the countries? That's just randomly going to 20 countries will not help.
Yeah.
So how to go to all these countries? How to coordinate with the Ministry of External Affairs, embassies, missions? Who are the people should come? What should be the target area?
Now, when we're talking about countries, now there are 7 partner countries, and some of them, other countries are also sending their representatives. Now, coming to the 7 partner countries, now what is going to be their role? What do you mean by when you say the partner country?
See, partner country is something which is equally interested in this summit.
Okay.
One is that coming to the summit, there could be 3-4 reasons why investor will come. So one is that he just wanted to see that what's happening, just to test the waters, because investors, there are huge stakes and they need to invest crores of rupees.
Yeah.
So second thing is that they would like to see that no, we have made up our mind and we have did our research and we would like to do something. Third thing is that they would like to do the B2B network, business to business. So who are all nothing to do with the government. It's okay, more or less marketing.
They're using this as a platform to connect with others.
Yeah. Now, when they connect with others, this partner country, they can hold a session on their own. We'll give them the space, and they can also say that please come to Japan and invest something. They may ask someone who has come here from Mumbai, and they may be reaching out to them. Here, they may be talking about Mumbai person going to Japan,
Right.
and vice versa. Now, sometimes we get carried away by saying that if they are not investing in Assam, why they should come here. So, the business is not like that. Now, for example, semiconductors, there is a study to say that one chip is made, by the time it is made from the raw material to chip, it crosses 47 international borders. There is so much of intense value chain is involved. There are several times one part comes here and go there. Tomorrow, Bombay company, textile company want to do something in Japan, the decision is made here, or that connect has been made here. Since it is made in Guwahati, sometimes some kind of a positive things will come up. Either the local entrepreneur will also get tagged with them, or some of those elements, say textiles, say for example, you need to get some organic kind of a dyes. They may realize that no, we went in Guwahati and at the time we heard something about the dyes.
So there are a lot of immense potential
Yes.
of connecting
Yes,
with each other,
yes,
and
yes.
that might, you never know
Yes.
who is going to benefit and in what way.
And one more thing, Honorable Prime Minister keeps telling, and for that matter, for Gujarat, there was no need, I mean, if you really look at compared to Assam or northeastern states kind of a thing, to organize summit every time. Anyway, there is a huge industry,
Yeah.
ecosystem, almost 32% of exports of the country happen through Gujarat. But why are they doing it every alternate year? And not now, more than 13-14 times they have organized this. So, this is something, it's a continuous process. You keep doing, people keep coming, then they will learn. It's not that they have come and signed something, signed the checks and invested and gone.
Yeah.
So, we have to cultivate them, we have to give them the good feeling, and we have to understand the market. So, for that, this is a bigger platform. Sometimes we get carried away saying that how many MOUs were signed, how much money is coming. So, that won't happen overnight. We have to create that ecosystem, and
Right.
they should get that good vibe, because ultimately investment is more than anything, it's a trust.
Right. Now, you have come up with the Assam government has come up with a defense manufacturing policy 2025. This year, you have come up with two major policies. One is that, and other one I've just forgotten. The startup policy. Now, coming to the defense manufacturing policy, the Chief Minister was interested in setting up a defense corridor because you see the rest of the country has an international border with only one country, that is Pakistan. Whereas we in the northeastern region, including Assam, we have, okay, Assam has border with Bangladesh, but northeast as a whole, we have borders with 5 foreign countries. So, so therefore, we have got a huge defense establishment in the whole of the northeastern region. Now, manufacturing, repairs of defense equipments and so on and so forth, it's a huge industry. I think this was waiting to be tapped, and now the Assam government has decided to tap this. What kind of a response have you got from the defense manufacturers, including the government of India on this?
We have been working very closely with Government of India. In fact, this policy about a year back or 8 months back, we started working on this policy. It's not just done overnight. And 1.5 day senior officers of Ministry of Defence came here, we sat with them, line by line, word by word, we went through the whole thing. Then after that we consulted large number of the market players. In defence what happens, defence is a sector where it's not like other private kind of a consumers. Most of the clients of defence sector are government and little bit of state governments because they also buy arms and ammunitions for the state armed forces. So, and there are some spill out kind of a things like some kind of an explosives are required for blasting some of the quarries and those kind of things are there, but very little. So, now we need to have a anchor industries. Government of India identified some private anchor industries under Make in India,
okay,
and we wanted to reduce as a nation on the dependency on other countries as much as possible. Now, last 7 to 8 years, there is enormous kind of production has increased in the states and in the country, and now some of these anchor companies are exporting to other countries also. Now, we have to get these anchor industries. For that, we need to have a corridor, defense corridor, so that people know that this is a land, because again, this is not something one industry is coming up and they will do everything. There are a lot of MSME has to come, and we have to develop, we have to give the space next door. So, that plan is there, and we have, because Tamil Nadu and UP has the defense corridors, we studied, and whatever their initial teething problems were there, upfront we addressed here. And also we have removed any cap kind of a thing. If someone comes and wanted to invest 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores, 3,000 crores, we have not kept any cap on the incentives they are going to get. So, these are the things people have appreciated, and all the experts have been consulted.
So, that means you have gone through the gaps in the other states where they have the defense corridor. You are trying to plug those gaps and keep the incentive much more so that people are attracted.
Yes. And these things may not happen overnight, but I'm quite confident down the line 5 to 10 years, definitely you will see at least 3, 4, even in the next summit, I'm not very sure. Someone may declare also bigger companies, but definitely next 8 to 10 years, people, I mean, whoever will be sitting in my place, in your place, will keep. Then the next question would be like Tata Semiconductor is already there. Similarly, 5 to 10 years, you will see at least 4, 5 defense big establishments coming.
Do you visualize a situation in, as you said, nothing can happen overnight? You very rightly put it. Now, the point is, do you see a situation in the coming days when there could be nuclear power stations in Assam?
Yes, in fact, see, nuclear is something, nuclear energy, there actually, if you see the history of nuclear energy industry, for various reasons or lack of the technology and lack of private sector opening up to the private sector, that was completely stranglehold kind of, of the PSUs or government kind of a thing. Now that is getting opened up. Now the huge energy requirements, when you say that it's a clean energy, you may not be, they have not put it in the completely green energy category, but it's definitely clean energy, and the kind of a huge energy requirements there in the country, and with a uniform grid and everything. So, you can produce here and you can supply anywhere in the country. So, it is going to happen very soon. It is only a matter of someone investor deciding that they have to do, and government, state governments kind of commitment how to allow that thing to happen, what kind of requirements are there, what kind of a policy, kind of a provisions we have to make, how we create that kind of an ecosystem. Now,
As if I ask you now, suppose some investor is seriously interested in putting up 1 or 2 nuclear power plants in Assam. Are we capable of handling it? Do we have a policy? Are we thinking on those lines?
we will definitely, because we don't have a policy as such, but we can customize a policy for that, and what is the size, where they would like to keep, and we can locate that in such a place where it's completely far away from the human habitations. They don't need huge land as such. In USA, I worked for 3 years on behalf of Government of India, Ministry of Finance. So, I have visited some of the nuclear plants. Till you go there, you don't see the nuclear plant. It's completely green kind of a place. Then you once go inside, everything goes underground. Little bit of some kind of a buildings around, but otherwise everything is. And it's the technology nowadays is available. And now US kind of a countries, they are very much keen to support us, India, to do that. So, any big investor is coming, state government will, and we are the energy deficit state, and we would like to have it, because see, sometimes people will get carried away. Okay, this nuclear energy, nuclear plant or some other industry unit will come, how many people get employed? Employment, no, some other, everything can't be measured with the employment. If 100 people may be employed there, but energy supply to the complete ecosystem will improve quality of life, and also the industry get a boost. I mean, anyone who's thinking now we are 7 to 9 rupees we are giving per unit to industry. That's people keep complaining that in other places. Now, once the supply is more, it's cheaper.
Then you can reduce the cost.
And many people would be willing to come. And
now, the gross annual growth rate of the state is about 12.62%. Now, you're saying that compared to the last fiscal, the gross state domestic product has risen to 19%. Now, okay, semiconductor has just come, it has not yet been operationalized. Okay, they have invested that kind of money, it is going to happen. But right now, can you tell us how you have been able to achieve this growth rate? The annualized growth rate is 12.62, and over the last fiscal, your growth rate is 19%. Now, have you been able to plug revenue leaks? Where have you been able to generate this revenue at the moment?
So, thank you for asking this question, since I could relate. I was there in the finance department here in Assam 2014 to 2018. Now, in such a short time, 2018 to 2024 is 6 years, but a very miraculous kind of a development is happening in the fundamentals, in strengthening the fundamentals of the state fiscal capacity. Because at that time I never realized we would reach this stage so early. When I say that, I am saying because of 2 parameters. One is that the capital expenditure. Those days capital expenditure was almost negligible or zero in every year. All of us resources used to go for salaries, pensions, and repayment of the interest, principal, and little bit of a money for giving various kind of individual benefits, etc. Now, the thing is that if you see both at the central level and the state level, and MORTH alone around 60,000 crore worth projects are getting implemented. Railways and all other central defense, etc. If you take, it will be more than 1 lakh crore. And our state government's own projects also around 40,000 crores. At the point, while I am talking to you, 40,000 crore worth projects getting implemented from the state government's budget is something perhaps earlier it would not have happened over a period of 15 years together also. Or maybe even, I mean, we can go to any years back, still you would not see that number. So, now this is slowly showing up because, I mean, all literature on the public finance, everyone will talk about, any economist is about how to increase capital expenditure, because this is something which will really come back to you in terms of growth, interest and everything. Now it is also showing up in terms of increasing our internal revenues. Now almost we reached to 30,000 crores, and still it is not enough. Given our other commitments, we have to increase it to double this amount maybe next 10 years or so. And for that, this kind of a summit, this kind of investments like
Necessary.
Tata necessary. So and this 19% has come because of that capital expenditure kind of a thing, and also last 2-3 years the kind of a work has been done. Now I will tell you a small example. Paddy procurement was something was happening in some other states like Punjab, etc., for very long. Now when we were in the field in early 90s to even till recently, hardly we could see that we could get into. Always people said, say, high humidity is there,
Yeah.
and quality is bad. Food Corporation of India doesn't want. Now we started procuring substantial quantity of the paddy. Now paddy, now it's a 500 rupees more than market we are paying, and that money is straight away getting into the pockets of the farmers. And mustard procurement, no, those kind of large number of things. Earlier corn, maize was not produced here, now slowly it's picking up. So it's not only that only we are talking about hi-fi things, but also fundamentals like primary sector.
Because we are basically at the end of the day, we are an agrarian
Yes.
economy.
So now all these things are adding to the system. Sometimes you won't feel that this bits and pieces happening, because it's like a very parched and thirsty kind of a soil in terms of our finances
Yeah.
and fiscal. Now any drop falling and any water coming there, it's going to give you very excellent kind of a results next 4-5 years.
Right.
Now this is that's why I'm saying it's a golden time under the current political leadership, under the current ecosystem, the power of the youth, their ambitions, aspirations. If we don't harness these next 5 years, then we will lose another generation to grapple with our own internal problems.
Another thing that the Chief Minister has been saying is that, okay, this kind of a summit, a lot of people, as you have also said during the conversation, that it's not that, people will come and invest in Assam. That is one part of the story. There will be others who will go out. Now, the Chief Minister has given an example. They showed that Singapore is interested in recruiting and hiring our people in the nursing sector. We have several government BSc nursing colleges giving degree courses in nursing. Singapore wants to introduce an English syllabus in this thing. And Japan is also interested in hiring up to 50,000 people straight away, and then might scale it up later. Now, can you elaborate on this little bit? Singapore is the nursing sector. Japan is interested in hiring people in what sector, and whether the Assam government is making any effort to give language classes in Japanese to our people.
You see, world over, especially European countries and some of these Southeast Asian countries, the age is a big challenge. Age, because there's all aging societies. Now, India, we keep talking about our younger kind of a society, younger country, in terms of age of the youth. Now, if you look at the average age of youth of average age of Assam
22,
population
22
is still lesser than what
is still lesser than the national
average.
Yeah, national
So,
is 26.
yes, so therefore we have to harness that. Number two, where from you will get you can give them the opportunities, the age old of government employment. Beyond a point, it is a counterproductive. It has been proved time and again.
Yes.
And nowadays we see a lot of young boys, bright girls and boys join the government. I see in secretariat every alternate day someone coming up with an application that I am resigning and I have got a better opportunity. And those were the days people left private employment of very high salaries and joined as a teacher or grade 3, grade 4. Now people
It's the reverse.
Reverse it's happening. So that has changed the mind. So now these kind of people, they are looking for, they are not bound by my district, my state, my country. Anywhere in the world they would like to go, and some other states have made inroads into the system. Today in the semiconductor industry, here semiconductor industry in India has not developed, but all the design experts, scientists and everyone, if you see, 24% of the semiconductor industry, top-notch people, technology people are Indian origin people. They may not be living in India.
Yeah.
So now therefore, Assam, like one is that semiconductor advantage. Now we have got as a first timer kind of a people. So our youth should get more skilled in these semiconductors. so that like the software engineers say Telugus and some of the other communities of the country, they have dominated the software industry. Similarly, SMEs should and Northeast people should dominate the semiconductor kind of a skills over a period of time. Now going to Japan and Singapore, now we have those kind of skills and affinity. I mean, Honorable Prime Minister keeps talking about the act east. So we are at a place where by the time you travel to by air to Mumbai, same amount of time when you travel to east, you will reach Singapore.
We are in a 3 hours distance
3
of
hours
many
distance.
of these
Yes,
South Asian tigers.
30% of the world population is within 3 hours kind of
Flying time.
So that population means nothing but it's market. So now when my skills are getting upgraded as a young boy or girl, so what is my liking and disliking in that area? It doesn't matter if it is not there in my place. Anywhere it is there, I would like to go. So for that, government is facilitating this, because on their own they would not go, but sometimes though bilateral kind of agreements are required, and some kind of a company to company connect is required, and little bit of an initial support is required. That our Honorable Chief Minister has been talking about, how to support them. It's not that we are forcing the people to go there, but whoever are willing to go, explore the world, why not?
Facilitate, why not? Absolutely. Now, another thing, now see, there are two aspects here. One, suppose you want to go to any of the neighboring countries. We are at a 3 hours flying distance, but we have to go to Delhi to get our visa. Every visa is not electronic.
Yes.
We have to go and present ourselves. So now, is the Assam government requesting the MEA, to push with the countries where we have interests, whether it is Singapore, whether it is Malaysia, whether it is all these neighboring countries, to have at least their visa office or a small consulate in Guwahati? Is this one of your top priorities, asking?
Yeah, in fact, this
we have
subject,
only 2 now.
Yeah, this subject has been under consideration. And now another important thing what is happening, rather than we are asking, we are getting a feelers from some of other embassies, whether you can help us, because that's something very great. Because now thereafter the rest of the things are very easy.
Yeah.
Someone is already thinking of. So now
visa office or consulate.
Yes. So
which are some of these countries like?
I would not like to name now, because they may not get because these are all informal kind of things. So now these kind of summits are very useful. If 30-40 countries come, because I will give you an example, like some of yesterday's Honorable Chief Minister also mentioned in the thing, European Union was not much visiting this kind of a place. We know that USA, UK, Japan, Singapore, these people are coming and going, Bhutan, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
But some of the Western countries like European Union, etc., they were not coming. Now they are coming. So more and more people should come, see. Then it will open up that, okay, Assam, generally what happens for visa and everything, they look at the population size. Now in Calcutta, it is already there. Why need to have another establishment? And bilaterally, always there is a challenge that when we allow someone to open it here, and India would also like to have a reciprocate kind of an additional consulate for us in their country.
Yeah.
But if they are convinced, then it's easy to do that. And nowadays people are looking at Bhutan, this mindfulness city.
Mindfulness city.
So those kind of things also, when the people look at what kind of things are getting opened up in the surrounding places. So therefore, I am saying that if they have to open any visa center or any kind of a mission or consulate, they also look at not only for Assam, not only
neighboring
places
Absolutely.
also. What kind of a strategic interest they have?
We talked about Bhutan. Bhutan is coming up with this Gelefo mindfulness city, which is a vision of His Majesty the King. I had the privilege of personally interacting with His Majesty. He gave me a personal briefing on. So it is something which is going to, very forward-looking kind of a thing, with his own currency, own legal system, and so on. Now, Bhutan wants to set up, is interested in setting up a special economic zone in the Gwalpara Jogigupa area. So, in what stage is that development?
You see, both of them are the proposals from Bhutan.
Yeah.
And Bhutan wanted to do trade with Bangladesh. So, they have two routes, one is via West Bengal and one is via Assam. Assam fits into their kind of a strategy very well because of several advantages. Shortest distance, the moment we have this Fulbari bridge.
Yeah.
Second thing is that some of the products like boulders, because boulders are they very much demand in Bangladesh for construction. They don't have much rock kind of a formation. Their soil is completely 100% alluvial soil. All the rivers water is coming there. So, that can move through barges on river Brahmaputra. So, multimodal logistic park at Jogigopa, Bhutan looks at as very important river port for them. And therefore, they have been saying that they would like to give us a kind of a bit of a carve-out area and bilateral agreements, then that can develop as a special economic zone. Bhutan can manage it, and all other international players can also come there. So, that is the sometimes what happens then.
It's not just for the use of Bhutan, anybody can.
Yes, actually, this is another point sometimes we miss. Then some may say that no, if we give it to the Bhutan, then what is the advantage to Assam? It's not like that. Now, Galifu Mindful City is coming across the border. You will see a lot of development will happen here.
On our side.
On our side. You take any advanced state. Now, you go to Tamil Nadu, whatever has first developed in Tamil Nadu, then it has to spill over to Andhra or Karnataka.
Yeah.
So, there's the additional incentives they get there. People also, every state also will think about that. So, Assam, already our Chief Minister has been thinking that if the mindful city comes, what are the things we should promote here on this side, so they can extend the goods and services to the mindful city. Similarly, this special economic zone coming there, it can get lot of international players, and people who are interested in both Bhutan and India and Bangladesh can come there and do something.
Yeah.
That will have a lot of cascading effect on our economy and also create a lot of employment.
See, during Advantage Assam, we are talking about big ticket investments. But, the Assam government has also given due attention to the small investors, whether it is MSMEs or whether it is somebody. And Chief Minister was saying that people who want to invest between 2 to 5 lakhs also can sign MOUs at the district level. Can you briefly elaborate on this?
Yeah, this is an excellent question because when I said golden moment and it's a game changer, this is not limited to only the bigger investments. We in economics we call formalization of the sector, formalization of the economy. We had a lot of informal economy. People are doing business, they are not paying the taxes, are not registered into the taxes, they are not big players to really get into that kind of a business. Now, that formalization has started after the GST introduction, because people are registering to get the input tax credit. Then we had a large numbers of the women self-help groups, not now, for last 3 decades they have been working. And some of them have got stabilized, got into federations, and now this, after this online payments, digital inclusion, financial inclusion, connecting with the banks and online payments, online marketing. Now we are signing an MOU with Amazon, this summit, to help training the self-help groups, the Lakpati Baidevs, so that they can get their products on Amazon. The visibility will increase. So, and we are working with Flipkart. So, these kind of things are happening. So, Honorable Chief Minister wanted that, because MSME sector is the heart of everything, that creates the ecosystem, thereafter the rest of the things will come. So, now in this investor summit, what we are trying to do is that all those MSMEs in various districts also should come forward, sign MOU with the industry department, because we may not be paying any incentives, but ease of doing the business and timely kind of approvals, so that they can quickly start their business. And we wanted to create that kind of an environment from the lowest level entrepreneur, Everyone
Right.
should get encouraged
Absolutely.
and be part of this movement of Advantage Assam 2.0. And perhaps whoever have signed small MOU in this year in any place like Jorhat or Silchar or Dubri, so they should come up next Advantage Assam
With a
3.0, bigger 1,000 crore MOUs signing. I mean, there are some other startups have done really wonderful job, and people are producing drones. Now, my boy and girl from Assam produced a drone, and he's still at a scale where he's struggling to find the market. Now, these are the occasions where people will come and see, okay, you have been doing this, and how we can upscale.
Absolutely. Very interesting. Now, I'll not take much of your time. So, at the end of the day, peace is the prerequisite for development.
Right.
You know it, I
Yes.
know it. Now, we have seen that Assam was hit completely by the bund culture until a few years ago. Now, fortunately, even the pressure groups, they have also not called bunds. And maybe they don't have a big reason to call a bund. Maybe that is also one of the reason. But at the end of the day, there are no bunds. And all the militant groups, as you started during the conversation, they have signed accords and they have come out. So except one or two groups, I think there are not any group in as far as Assam is concerned. Government of India is also talking to several groups outside Assam also, like in Nagaland and others. Now, do you think that is the key, that this peaceful atmosphere, the lack of a bund culture, if it continues for in the days ahead, then Assam is going to see, the Assam's transformative growth story is going to be really, really huge.
Yes. In fact, I think every family, because ultimately it's whenever called by band or whatever the name you give to the pressure groups, now that family has a boy and girl. His outlook is different, and band is going to impact him directly or indirectly. So why anyone would get into that? I think that is another reason why these things are happening. That's why the economy has to grow. People should become active partners of that economy. Everyone is doing something, business, job, now startups. I can't imagine, that's why I'm saying that in 2018 to 23 when I was away. So when I came back in 2023, I thought I'm coming after 20 years.
Yeah.
So that much of change, and now 200 years of tea industry, there was never no people thought about the branding, packing and all those things. Bulk tea was going to Calcutta and many other places.
Other people were value adding and making the benefit.
So now all young boys and girls, they are brimming with so many ideas in all those exhibitions, etc. You see that oolong tea to many other things, bagless kind of a teas, and a lot of things are happening. Now, all these things, that energy, what I am talking about, that's why the startup policy our Chief Minister started only 10 days back in the cabinet, it was approved. Assam is the first state which has created a separate dedicated department for the startups. It's called Innovation, Incubation and Startups. And we are talking about next level, some of the things other states have not thought about. Bio E3 policy, this is basically bio manufacturing and bio foundries. So, how to upscale some of those manufacturings by using AI. We are also going to come up with a AI policy very soon. So, these are all the things perhaps other states, because some of the states policies, if you see, I'm not taking the names, but in cut and paste kind of a policies, when they make some places, it remained Assam also in some states when they are picking up our policies and doing.
Yeah.
So, we feel very proud to be part of this kind of growth, and you see all our bureaucracy officers. So most of the time they used to go on central deputy, because see, everyone has the when you come in a
has it come down now?
Definitely.
Okay, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, your own children, if they are studying in IIT Guwahati, why do you say that no, I have to go to, and then if you are in Delhi, then you would like to come back to Guwahati.
Absolutely.
Or IIM is going to come.
Yeah.
And you have a good schools. Those days there were the kind of in 90s we had that concern that no, what will happen to our, because
higher
everyone,
education and all.
yes. And now, I mean, for an officer, what do you need? I mean, your family, children, and those basic amenities are taken care of in terms of education, health, and then work-wise, no, you have that kind of a satisfaction. You are contributing something, morning to evening, you are doing something. So you can take any amount of stress. That stress is not a stress if you are delivering something, and you can see there is an outcome.
Absolutely.
So now that kind of a ecosystem has come, and Honorable Chief Minister, he recognizes that. He is a workaholic and he will push the people to work hard, and everyone is contributing. So many people very reluctantly, sometimes there is a requirement for them, unless they go for a deputation for a period, they will not get other positions in Government of India. So everyone being an all India service officer, you have that kind of a thing, I should work. Otherwise, you become like a state service officer. No, you should have that national level exposure, international level exposure.
Right.
Professional ambitions, they are all quite fine.
So everything has been taken care
Yes.
of. On that extremely positive note, we are now getting a mood. It's an extremely positive mood. Assam is on the road to progress and growth. And this summit, Advantage Assam 2.0, the Investment and Infrastructure Summit 2025, that is going to see about 7,000 or more participants, 7 partner countries, and 8 key focus areas, including aerospace and defense. And I find it quite interesting, flavors and fragrance industries, apart from our traditional, that is tourism, tea, and agriculture sector, is all set to have a growth boost in the state with this summit. Let's hope for the best. We'll keep a close track on the Advantage Assam 2.0. On that note, I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Ravi Kota, for enlightening us with what is going on as far as Advantage Assam 2.0. All the best for the initiative.
Thank you so much.